Hello, I'm Ace, and I've been working on a smallish project lately. I've been interviewing VTubers of varying sizes and from different stages of their streaming career. Here, they provided streaming advice for any new VTubers or streamers. I know how difficult and daunting it can be starting out, so I hope this can help. Moreover, even if you're not new to streaming, I do hope the advice and tips given in this video were helpful. If you guys want to jump from VTuber to VTuber, there should be prompts for it.
There's a lot of obvious ones that they'll probably hear about or learn about on their own, but like the most important thing that you should always remember is to take it easy on yourself. Don't compare your growth to others. Everyone grows at different rates. Everyone will find different opportunities. Everyone will have their different ups and downs. Do not obsess over the grind. Do not forget about your real life obligations and taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
Absolutely keep it realistic. Do not kill yourself if you're not immediately hitting 5+ viewers, okay? You'll get there eventually. You gotta give it time. And you gotta put in the effort in at a healthy pace.
Yeah, that's what most people forget.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people like this.
Yeah, I've seen like people's healthy terry over like they're part of streaming over like their actual lives and everything.
God, or how they like dump all of their life savings into a model. Like it's not like
Yeah.
gotta pay rent, homie.
Yeah, I'd say yeah. Like this is a hobby. This is all in all. When starting out, this is a hobby. This is not jobs. Starting out, at least.
It can be a job, but you gotta get there at your own rate. You gotta be realistic about it. You can't just go in assuming you'll get hired by HoloLive.
Watch a lot of YouTube videos. A lot. As much as you can. Taking all the information you can on YouTube videos about OBS and getting the right video settings, audio settings, getting all that stuff. Because I've seen people with like a kind of like low pixelated video settings, and I'm just like they could probably use that advice.
Yeah.
But as for themselves, I would say just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it. Do it. Watch your VODs, have it, and learn from your mistakes of what you're doing. Like if you find something, if you watch your VODs and you find something you're doing cringe and you don't like how you maybe being a little shy or something, just try to work on whatever you think you need to work on.
Yeah, it's great advice.
I feel like I got a lot of advice, but like, I think the first one I already kind of touched on it was like, put passion into it. Like, it's not gonna magically happen. Sometimes it's not just dumb luck. It is like people admiring and, your passion for what you're doing. You gotta put your whole heart and your soul into it. And also, I'd say keep it you. You don't have to pretend to be somebody, because I feel like a lot of people, especially anybody like over 20, maybe 22, can kind of tell when somebody is faking it. Like and for some people it's glaringly obvious when you're faking it. Yeah. So I feel like being you is the most important thing to like keep with you, because if it turns into, you're acting every time that you stream, you're gonna get exhausted.
Oh,
you're
totally.
gonna burn yourself out, and then by that point it becomes a job. And sometimes you'll find that the person that you're pretending to be might evolve into somebody that you hate, and then you're gonna hate your own, your VTubing, and then that'd be cringe. So yeah, just be as much as yourself as you would like to be, of course. I know people like use VTubing as an outlet to be, someone a little bit different from themselves, but keep it as real as you are comfortable with.
Keep it based.
Yeah, be based. It's yeah.
advice to VTubers that are starting? As somebody who's been VTubing for about a year and who has taken many breaks and has restarted and gone through all of it, I have a lot of... I don't want to say... I don't even want to say advice, right? These are all so isolated to my experience, but it's more like opinions on what has happened to me as a VTuber, what has worked, what has not worked, and if it constitutes as advice, by all means. But to anybody starting, I think my biggest things that I've learned with the VTubing is to... Well, there's also the practical answer, which is to obviously come in with reasonable expectation setting for what you want to accomplish with your VTubing, right? No VTuber goes out of the gate with thousands of followers and thousands of viewers and blah blah blah, their partner, and there are VTubers out there that do hit that, and they're kind of the outlier in the mass sphere that is VTubers, and this is not to disencourage anybody from trying. It's more like come in with reasonable expectations of yourself, of your VTubing, and your content, and etc. Because it's all a learning process, right? Each stream you will get better and better, and you shouldn't be too hard on yourself if you compare yourself to somebody else. So that is my practical answer. Be reasonable, have reasonable expectations, work on yourself, work on your content. The more, I guess, personal answer into getting into the VTubing sphere or starting out is to have fun. That honestly is the cliche answer, but it's honestly the true answer that in the end of the day, right? We as VTubers are here to entertain people, and we cannot be entertaining if we are not having fun and being ourselves on stream, right? You don't need to pretend to be anybody you're not. You don't have to follow the path of somebody else because you think it'll work for you, one-to-one to success. Because at the end of the day, right, this is an entertainment path. Whether you do it as a hobby, whether you do it trying to pursue a full-time career in it, we are here to entertain. And this kind of leads into another point of keep humble when, you know, you're getting into VTubing. And I mean this in the sense of anybody who takes the time to watch you and your streams or engage with your content, that's time out of their day that nobody owes. And it's always important to keep that in mind, right? The people that come and support you don't have to. Nobody has to do anything. And so I think it's so easy to get wrapped up in the rat race of succeeding as a VTuber that sometimes you take, you know, the small things for granted of somebody just taking time out of their day to visit your stream. So have fun, keep humble, keep reasonable expectations, be genuine, right? It all goes to show, right? That success isn't the end-all be-all of VTubing. This is an awesome hobby. If it works out, it is an awesome career, and it is built on you, your personality, how you want it to be. So just be genuine and have fun, and don't let anyone discourage you from pursuing this. If you can, reasonably, if you can pursue this, please do. Don't let this be a source of stress for you. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I feel like if I keep going, I'm gonna ramble myself in circles. So I hope this advice or opinions or whatever you want to call it helps. I'm not the most articulate. I don't even know what I'm talking about half the time. So hopefully this was some help.
So the biggest part about streaming is just that discipline piece where you keep going. People lose interest and people find other stuff to do so freaking quickly online. Like in terms of Twitter, your competition on Twitter is literally the next post. Right? So if somebody's like scrolling through Twitter, their attention span is a fraction of a second when it comes to your post. So you better have a pretty goddamn good post if they're gonna stop scrolling and leave a like on it, which boosts its visibility, right?
Mm-hmm.
So even in regards to that, you just have to know what your competition is. And your main competition when it comes to being a streamer or somebody online is literally the attention span of your audience. That's your biggest competition. So that's honestly the best reason as to why my tits are so big. It captures people's attention. That's genuinely the best way to do it.
That's true.
And my hope is that after I do get somebody's attention, I can keep it by virtue of having something cool to show them, right? So like, hey, that robot's got really fucking big tits. Wow, she's also making music or making a song or 3D modeling. That's kind of cool. I guess I'll stick around. So one of the biggest things is have something to show people. You know what I mean? So if you're gonna stream, one thing people like seeing is personal development. So like learn how to draw and shit, may as well do it on stream, right? So like viewers like seeing people learn how to do stuff. That's one thing that, like, a lot of people just miss is everyone goes on to stream just to play video games, and that's perfectly fine. Like, that in and of itself is an experience that you should take with your viewers. However, another big thing is seeing people learn how to do stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just remember, streaming doesn't have to be just one brand. You can do a multitude of different things. See, it worked on Dan. The titties work.
Yeah, I was gonna say because firstly, the first thing I would do is because I'm very detail oriented in a lot of things. So if they asked me like, what's some advice for streaming, I'd ask, okay, in what way? First. That's how I'd respond first.
Mm-hmm. How about starting
Just
out?
the general advice
Well,
that you could give.
it's right that.
Beyond that for streaming though, obvious. Not super obvious, but obviously, if you want to stream, both have backups and also test the waters. Make sure you enjoy it. I know this has been said many times by other people who are much bigger than me, but if you want to stream, make sure you enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, then why get into it?
That's true.
Or rather, try to find a way that you can enjoy it. There's a lot of different ways to mess with it. Heck, sometimes I'm basically just playing a game and chat is there, and I'm like, hi chat, and then we like interact a bit, and it's basically just me playing a game. Other times I'm actively like trying to be super entertaining, like make stuff, set stuff up, have a good time kind of thing, make content for other platforms like Twitter and such. Just like enjoy it, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah. Just make sure you enjoy it. And if not, find a way.
That's some great advice.
Hell yeah.
By the way, there's a ton of free
shit.
assets literally everywhere, so you don't have to. There's not like a high cost ceiling.
Yeah.
You
don't
There's
got
like a workshop in Steam too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, Ace. Look in the interview room chat. I posted a card there. If that gets posted into the chat, hey guys, if you scroll down in there's a bunch of free assets made by a bunch of.
Well, specifically VTubers, I would definitely say, like, if you're just starting out, you do not need to spend a whole lot of fucking money. I wish I had known this. There are free models, there are very cheap pay-to-use models. You can get almost any asset you can think of for free if you just hunt around Twitter. And if you're new, I would not recommend putting a lot of money into it. Before I was a VTuber, I was streaming for 4 years. So I knew I liked streaming, right?
Yeah.
I feel like people will dump a lot of money into it before they've ever streamed before. They start streaming and they're like, I don't like this. Right? It happens, and it's fine. It's not for everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just like, You do it and you're like, I prefer being a chatter, I prefer watching, I don't like doing this, or I like making YouTube content instead.
Totally fine.
Like live. Yeah, and that's fine. But you don't really want to figure that out after you've dumped hundreds and hundreds or sometimes thousands of dollars into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
don't let the potential expense be a barrier to giving it a try, but also don't spend a lot of money at the beginning. You know, get yourself a PNG or a pay-to-use model or a free model. Again, they exist. There's customizable free models now that you can get.
Absolutely, it's all on over Twitter.
Yeah, so do that, give it a try, see if you like it, right?
Yeah.
And I guess the other thing too is I think there's something I'm really big about because it's from my own experience is if you're planning to do a debut, understand that your debut does not set the stage for the rest of your VTubing career, right? If you want to make it a career. So if you pop off, it does not guarantee that you're going to be a huge streamer, right? If you fucking flop, like I did, it does not guarantee that you're going to be at the bottom or like tiny forever. Your debut is just a beginning, it's a jumping off point, and then you have to keep working hard. You have to keep going at it, right? So like don't be discouraged if you have like a handful of people at your debut, right? Use it as motivation to like improve, you know? And alternatively, if you have 1,000 people at your debut, expect a drop off. People never retain the same amount of numbers they get at their debut, ever, right? Like, you might get 100 people at your debut, the next stream you do, you might be at 10 or 15. And that has nothing to do with you, it's because it's not a debut. A debut people make time for, right? So it has nothing to do with your ability as a streamer, and try not to be discouraged by that, you know? Yeah, that's, I guess that's it.
Persistence is key, but also having fun is also part of it too.
Very true. Man, having fun. Do you think do you think some VTubers who's been on the grind for a real long time have fun, or do they treat it as a job, like a boring job?
It depends on how their community is, probably.
Yeah.
It depends. It really depends. Like some of them would like perceive it as like, yeah, it's another job. But like most of them who are still on that grind, like I feel like I'm still on that grind and I still find this really fun. So I'm just one of the few that still finds it really fun. You know?
Yeah, so I know that I felt that in order to call myself a VTuber, I had to have a certain amount of things. I couldn't be a PNG tuber. I feel like I was a PNG tuber, not a VTuber. Don't call me a VTuber. You know what I mean? Like, very imposter syndrome. And so I struggled a lot with just feeling comfortable in my own skin and in my own content. So if you're somebody who hasn't hit going live yet, that button, do it. Just start streaming, figure out if you even like it in the first place, and then you can start investing. Because if you invest first and then you start streaming and then you realize, oh, I don't actually like streaming. I don't actually like VTubing. I actually don't like this at all. You're gonna have to figure out how to recuperate your expenses that you've already spent. And that's really difficult, especially given how expensive the hobby is. So, don't feel like you have to have a model right away. There's free stuff, there's paid to use stuff. Start with those and see if you like it, and then invest if you do. That's my advice. Don't feel like you have to start off with 100% high quality production value. Scuff is scuff. It's part of the journey. Embrace it.
Have fun. I know everyone says worry about like numbers and don't worry about numbers and stuff, like, and they always say like play the games that are popular. Don't do it. Like it's not worth like spending money And like when you're first starting out, like don't spend the money if you don't have it, you know, like just chill with the games that you like or that you have. Get a couple friends, have fun. Honestly, just pretend like it's not a job. Pretend like it's not a race, you know? Because like I've always talked about how like streaming is kind of like boats. And this goes very well because like, you know, like some people have rafts and some people have rowboats and some people have canoes, and like as you go with your boat and as you sail through, you'll see some people can get to the destination much faster than you and much quicker. And just take your time and vibe, you know? Build up your boat and have fun, you know?
Well, that's well said.
Easy peasy.
Very well said. That's a really good way of saying it.
It's just like just take your time with it. Just don't worry about it, you know? Just do what you like, do what you love. Just be yourself, you know? You don't have to put on a voice, don't have to put on a persona unless you want to. That's totally fine and that's totally valid. You're totally valid in doing that. But just like people come, people will like you, and remember when you're first starting out, if there's someone in your chat that's making you uncomfy, I promise you, there's like 5,000 other people to replace them. So never feel bad about having your comfort circle. That is the most important thing I could probably say out of all this advice. Is just keep your circle comfy first. Worry about people later. There's so many fish in the sea. You'll find them. I promise.
Oh, I love doing these ones actually. So as corny as it is, it generally is do what you like. I always tell people this. If you want to grow quickly, then you got to sacrifice a lot about yourself and you got to stop doing what you like. You want to do exactly what the masses like and what is the consistent algorithm base. But if you want to truly do what you like, then you just do whatever design you want. You do whatever like content you want. You do whatever you want. And sure, it might be quick success. It might be medium sector. It might be a slow burner. But it just depends on what you want to do as a content creator. Don't worry about the numbers. Do worry about them, but don't let the numbers determine what you make, you know? Because try to figure out how to properly mold yourself to make it successful. You know what I'm saying? Like how I mentioned before was Jerma, right? The only one I'll fanboys about Jerma. And I actually admire Jerma as a creator because his community is the most passionate, well-tight, like closely knitted and well known to each other, everything. And the reason for that is Jerma grew super slow. He grew very, 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 very painfully slow. And guess what? It worked out for him, right? Like he's like literally well known. He literally has like a well tight community. He does what he loves, right? He does whatever he wants, and it still works out for him. Like, that is what I want to be, and I think every content creator should try to be. If you want to grow fast and make money, then sacrifice a lot about yourself. Sacrifice designs that you like. You have to sacrifice a lot. But you don't have to do that to be successful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, to put the bottom line, my advice is do what you like. Don't let numbers determine what you're going to make. You know? Just, like, in terms of, like, what will work. You know what I'm saying? Like, just do whatever you want. Don't do what's popular if you don't like it, you know?
Be you.
Exactly.
I think the most important thing is set your goals, like figure out what your goals are and set them and just be realistic about them. Like, don't go in this thinking, yeah, I'm going to do this full time. Yeah, I'm going to get partner. No. Like, I'm talking about, think about what's, like, what do you want? Like, set something you think you can do in a year, you know? Like, yeah, I'm going to get 500 followers. I'm going to stream this many times. And also, like, think about what you want out of streaming as well. Like, do you want to, like, hang with people? Like, what kind of things do you want to focus on? What kind of games? What kind of content do you want to make? That kind of thing, you know? Like, I think it's just a good idea to figure out what you want and then just focus on that. And also another thing is like if you want to get into VTubing, if you're like not
the fun part. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you want to get into VTubing, especially like and you're not sure if you're really, if you're like kind of waffling at it, you're not really sure. There's always PNGs. You can just do PNGs.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. We all start somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't go into this like spending $1 billion or something.
Oh,
like
absolutely.
$1,000.
Yeah, I've known people who spend over 1K just to get their foot in the door, and then they quit it within less than a year.
Yeah, that's like, but like I'm not gonna lie, I definitely spent maybe a little more than I would like to admit, but at least like but that by that point I'm like, no, I want to keep doing this,
Yeah,
I'm sure about this. Yeah, but yeah.
Give yourself time, and but it depends it depends on person to person and how you want to do things. So like even my advice, you can just take it with a pinch of salt and then adapt accordingly to how you prefer to do things. But for me, like I just, if there are times where I feel upset, like I'm like, oh, today's turnout wasn't too good, or I feel like nobody's chatting, so it feels like there's nobody watching, and you feel discouraged, you just have to think that it's normal, and everybody has their ups and their down days.
Yeah.
So even though, like, if you're streaming by yourself, it feels like you're the only one experiencing it, because not a lot of people want to talk about like the bad stuff that they've like had, like, oh, I don't have this day I didn't have many viewers, it's so sad. So it feels like you're the only one experiencing it. That's not true. And I guess if it comforts you, you can also try thinking of it from the viewer's perspective. Like, they have their own lives, so do you. Everybody has their busy days. Even if they really, really wanted to catch your stream, something might have come up, like an emergency or just anything in general, maybe internet issues, something
Yeah.
something that yeah. So like anything can happen. Anything can and will happen. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah.
So just like don't be too hard on yourself. And as long as for me, like, as long as I'm true to myself, like, and I know that I put in the effort, then I'll be okay. Like, I'll just take it in stride if it was a bad day, or if it was like a not as well performed day as usual. But again, all of that, like how well you do, how bad you do, those are all subjective. People have different expectations of themselves. And yeah. If it has something to do with a bad interaction, you are the streamer. You can always, if it affected you really badly, you can, it's your show, it's your stream, it's your content. You can always stop. Nobody's forcing you. Just don't push on if it makes you feel terrible, which is unfortunate, that an interaction so bad just caused you to like not feel like streaming anymore. But sometimes you do what you have to do, and all you can say is like,
I'm pretty sure you definitely wouldn't want that person anymore. So do what you need to do to manage those bad interactions, and take time off to just cool down, think about it. Maybe think about ways on how you can prevent that from happening again, and probably adapt, change rules, add rules, have auto mod or something, just a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
I would say several things. Like,
What?
just do the stuff you like and start with that. You don't need to basically do what everyone else is doing, or do stuff like that people will tell you to do. Like, you need to play this game to be popular, and that's also really important. Don't think about the popular thing, because that will, and numbers, that will drive a lot of people crazy when they start like thinking about numbers and stuff like that. It's not good for you. I like, when I'm streaming, I never watch my like viewer count or anything like that. I just do myself. Because being under like pressure, if there's a lot of people or less people, can affect your content and affect your like how you feel it. So just vibe, and if you wanna try out VTubing, do it. Just do it. And if it doesn't feel right, you could try something else or something. It's not like you have to do something if you don't like it. And if you like it, do it. Do it. Like, it's the most important part is that you enjoy it yourself.
And that about wraps things up. If you're here, it means you either skip to the end of the video or you watch the whole thing. But nonetheless, thank you very much for watching this. It's been over a year since I started this project, and I just wanted to compile it all. If you haven't already, please check out these wonderful VTubers. All of the links will be in the description below. You saw it coming, and I'm really sorry I gotta do this. I have my own Twitch channel, and it will be there too. So, till then, I'll see you another time.